Mitsuri is finally coming to help, right? I love the ending there. I saw the crow. I was like, that crow there with like hearts on it. Yeah, I wonder who owns that crow. It's a pink hearts to a green. Yeah. So cool. She finally comes, right? She lives close by, right? I guess, and she's running over there, so it's nice. And I put the image here because this is kind of been the trailer, right? You know, as an anime only. When we see the trailers of Demon Slayer, before the movie and so on, right? But kind of like, last year or so on, this was kind of, this is kind of the trailer, right? Yeah. This moment of her running in has actually been most of the trailer, right? So the last minute or so of the episode, that's kind of what we have seen, I guess, the most before, whatever, I mean, I'll point out. Anyway, regardless, the episode was really good. Very good episode. Could be one of my favorites, I think, so far of the whole anime. Extremely good episode. I mean, just like Nezuko getting owned, right? Who doesn't love seeing getting owned? No, but it was a very brutal episode. I don't know why I said it like that. I was like, it was very brutal. Yeah, it was very brutal, okay? I can't even pronounce the word anymore. That's how brutal it was. Yeah, it was brutal. It's something I did on purpose. Yeah, it's like, it was brutal, guys, okay? But anyway, yeah, it was very brutal, right? Nezuko gets owned. Nezuko has the power, and she gets like massively owned. Of course, she can heal that, so it is a little bit like typical, I guess, anime trope, and also comic book trope. But certainly the character, like Wolverine or whatever, right, that has healing powers, certainly gets harder owned, right. So poor Nezuko really gets into that positioning. Well, oh yeah, she gets in pain, she gets electrocuted, turned into a lightning rod, Nezuko gets all the pain, right? Nezuko, it turns into, like, all the pain is aimed at Nezuko, right? It really becomes a kind of anime. So this is unfortunate, because I do think it's tropey. I mean, again, wrong, I still love the episode. It's a great, talented episode, but I still think it's tropey, right? And of course, the poor girl that can heal is gonna get to take most of the damage, because we know she won't die from it, right? She might still die, but you know what I mean? She won't die as easy, right? So we can brutalize her more, right? But I used to really love, like I said in the reaction report, I really love the scene when she stole his feather. I mean, that to me was like, play of the game. She was like, haha, it's my ultimate now! That was by far the best scene. I love that scene. And that's just how I played, with my Genya and so on. No, but seriously, right? Like, I play a lot of games, right? And I think those are the moments which are the best, right? When you kind of reverse something. Like, for example, I worked on this game, right, a few years ago, and one of the main characters, or actually the main character, I would say, it's a multiplayer game, but he's the main character. I mean, I wrote the game storyline, so, he has the ability to reverse magic, right, and inverse stuff and so on. So he can reverse debuffs, and he can also reverse attacks on himself, and he can also, like, reverse heals. So you can debuff an enemy, and if the enemy is healed, they actually take damage of that. It's a hidden debuff, so you can hit someone with a debuff, right? Basically, it's not a dot, it's more like a debuff, right? And then if you heal your ally for like 40 health, take 40 damage there, because you don't know that this guy has put this debuff on them. You can predict it, because, or predict it, but you can assume it, because, he has a range of his ability, right? So if your ally was close to that guy, maybe he debuffed you, as a cooldown, of course. So you don't know for a fact, right? So I guess I also love that ability, but to me that's like the most essential badass thing, right? When I take your ability and I reverse it, you know what I mean? Yeah, and I take your shit, it's mine now, because that's the ultimate gameplay, right? And I think it's so fun to, because I'm kind of self-imposing here, I suppose, but I think it's so much fun if you have like a gameplay where, you have an actual ability that isn't the strongest ability, right? Your opponent has a stronger ultimate than you have, but you can reverse it somehow, I mean, yeah, that to me is ultimate. Yeah, I don't know, I think that's, in my opinion, that's the ultimate game, the ultimate gameplay, right? Yeah, I mean, you're able to, like, just, like, take the much stronger opponent ability, but with the perfect timing, perfect coordination, yeah, you reverse it, I mean, because usually it takes more skill, right? It takes more skill to take your opponent's ultimate than to just have a strong ultimate yourself, right? Which of course means that being able to reverse your ultimate from a gameplay standpoint is a higher skill cap, and usually might be the best ultimate, right? Given if you have enough skill to use it, right, so to speak. But obviously much harder to actually utilize, right? So I really love Nezuko scene. I guess it really spoke to me, right? It really made me like, oh god, this is the best. Take his power! Yeah. I guess it's just, for me, that's like the best moment. Tanjiro, I guess, also did a similar thing. He used his talon, right, to both block and then also use the talon to remove the road, right, from Nezuko's body. Also kind of a reverse, I suppose, right? But that was a really good generally when he arrived. Yeah, first he like flew on the Tengu, which was cool too. He was like getting the katana up and he's like flying with him, like thanks for the ride. Yeah, that was great too. Yeah, thanks for taking me back home, you know. And then of course, like continuing that then with yeah, using his talent, right, and so on. That was and he cuts through his. Man, maybe he did die now though, because he like, pulled out the. Oh, his head is back. Man, his head is so immortal. Yeah, how are you still alive? I think Nandi. I think we're all wondering like, how are you still alive? What is wrong with you, human? And he just laughs at him. Yeah, do you wanna know? How is he still alive? I don't understand either. He's like, I exchanged my body part or something. He didn't explain anything. It's just like, because I don't want to die or something. I don't know. That didn't explain shit, man. How are you alive? I don't want to die. I don't get how Genya survived, right? Maybe it's going to be explained. I hope so. As an enemy only, I have no idea how he just like gets, the blue guy got a yari, right? I think so, yeah, like a typical Japanese three-ended spear weapon, right? It's called a yari spear, or just yari than Japanese, but you know, English you should call it yari spear or yari. So he got a yari, I think, and he can like cut through his body with that. And and I like how the demon is like, Nani, how are you still alive? I killed you like 3 times by now. And Genya is like, because I want to kick your ass. I'm just like, that doesn't explain anything. I'm just like, that does not explain anything, man. He's just like, I got the willpower. I'm a One Piece character. I just want to win so much that I keep winning. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. I really hope they explain that, or maybe he dies. Honestly, he's kind of a side character. He can easily die, right? I don't really care that much. He's obviously voiced by a very famous, explosive character, so it's kind of cute. But yeah, I don't know. He's like, if he dies, I wouldn't care that much. I mean, maybe we have like a really sad backstory in this episode, so maybe. But at this moment, he's just kind of like one of the demon slayers, right? That doesn't really have much storyline like so far. So if he dies, I don't really care, right? Not that I want him to die. I don't want him to die, but I'm just like, my point is that he feels like a character that easily can die in this arc, right? Because he's not one of the Hashira, he's not a pillar, he's not like an important character. His death flag seems really high. So far, he took so much damage in the episode. Yeah, he looks very dead. Like, seriously, I think he's gonna die probably because he might be able to fight demon right now, right? Kind of like I can last for this moment, but I think he probably will end up dying. I mean, all the blood loose. I think so. Yeah, it'd be kind of silly if Genya somehow managed to be alive or something. Yeah, I would be very surprised about that, right? So he probably is gonna die. My guess. Both from, the damage standpoint, but also, like I said, right, he also has the least important part of the storyline, right? He has like no relevance for storyline, really, so he's probably dead meat. Seriously, he's probably dead. And then Mitsuri, of course, again, as I mentioned earlier, comes back in the end of it, right? Well, yeah, he also had that he saved it for the fish, but whatever, yeah, he saved it for the fish, yeah. Hashira saves the boy from a fish, like, who cares? I don't know, yeah, the first minute was kind of like a recap, and then he saved from the fish. But yeah, Mitsuri coming back in, though. I want to guess here, I said in reaction 2, I think she's going to fight all the animals right there. Because I've seen the opening, of course, many times now. She's fighting like a hydra or a snake or something in the opening. And giving his powers to transform these fishes. I feel her fight's going to be more probably against the other demon, right, you know? Like Tanjiro is dealing with the 4 guys, right? I feel that Mist probably gets in there. Yeah, he probably gets a Tanjiro, right? And I feel Mitsuru is going to have to deal with, I can summon all these animals or whatever. Yeah, she's probably going to, because I think she's going to run into the village, right? I mean, the literal village with people, right? Not like the actual city, but like the actual, like, close contact with the fishes. So she's probably going to have to fight all the hentai monsters. Yeah, I feel that's going to be her thing, probably. And she's going to go one-on-one, but I mean, her versus all the monsters and the actual, summoner guy, basically. That's probably her fight, yeah. It feels like she won't actually fight with Tanjiro at all. I don't think so, or Nezuko. I think it's like Nezuko, Tanjiro, Mist versus the 4 demon, and Genya, yeah. Which makes them 4 against 4 too. Yeah, they will meet this at 4 against 4, and she does like solo guys, the other guy. Probably. Maybe team up, it doesn't feel like it. Yeah, maybe I'm wrong, but as the enemy only, I'm guessing Mitsuru is gonna have a one against 1, but I mean 1 versus his summoning animals and him, and then 4 against 4 in the other fight, right? Anyway, this scrap didn't have a great